This Week.
Hello.
Hello to you. Welcome to This Week.
Okay.
Can we talk pants for a second?
Yeah.
I hate them.
You hate them?
I hate pants.
You've always hated pants. What's that? You wear shorts in the middle of winter.
I wear shorts all the time because, one, I'm trying to be Peter Brown. Downtown Peter Brown never misses. I went to a school with a kid named Peter Brown, and he only ever wore shorts. But that's not why I do. They're just more comfortable. Mm-hmm. Pants are typically restrictive to me.
And you like being cold.
You like
cave weather.
I do. I appreciate cave weather. So having been heavy most of my life, pants just typically equate to uncomfortable, right? Especially structured pants like jeans or slacks or something. It's just fuck off. I'll take my basketball shorts, please.
Yeah.
But you bought me a pair of joggers recently, which are like sweatpants, but they are tapered, and they have
and they have zipper pockets.
Big crotch area. Is that normal for joggers?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're very roomy in the butt and the crotch area. Yeah.
I like them.
Which, it was a shot in the dark, but I took it, and
they make me feel a little bit like a ninja. I feel more prepared, but I guess as I get smaller, I'm just gonna have to get used to things not feeling the way they used to feel, and that's okay. But I like the pants. And I would like you to get me some more, please.
Okay. I've never heard that in 20-something years of being together. I've never heard you say that, so I will.
Well, I'm having a good couple of weeks here. You got me these pants.
Uh-huh.
I like them. You got me another pair of pants that are a little bit snugger than I like, but I think in another 10 pounds, they'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
And I got a new chair for my desk.
Office
chair that I've never been able to buy a real chair. I've always had to buy these
Office Max.
Office Max, Office Depot, big and tall chair. And they're always uncomfortable. They never actually are as sturdy as they claim.
Yeah.
So I got one of these gaming chairs that look like a racing seat. Mm-hmm. But I got this is not an ad. I got the Secret Lab Titan Evo 2022.
Ooh.
It was on a Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I thought, okay, if I don't fit in this chair, I'll just give it to one of the boys.
Right.
But I got here, it was a really cool unboxing, a really cool.
Which is unusual.
Yeah,
for
really cool,
furniture.
Assembly. Yeah, for a chair, this is Apple, assembly and unboxing.
Yeah.
For a fucking office chair.
Yeah. And can we just say, I can't help but have opinions now about everything, that everything is classist, right? Yeah. The more expensive something is, the nicer it is, obviously. Yeah. But also the packaging is nicer, and the tools are nicer, and everything fits, and the bolts fit in their. How many times have we bought a $99 chair, and it's a piece of crap, but it's rickety, and But why? Why isn't more things better quality for everyone?
Yeah, but I don't know that that's even true, because the last chair I bought, the last big and tall chair I bought from Office Depot, cost me the same as this new chair. And it came without instructions, and it was wobbly from day one, right? Mm-hmm. This chair came with its own branded Allen wrench driver, magnetic. That's not a cheap tool, right? It's not just here's an Allen wrench like they throw into IKEA, right? This is it's got a plastic handle on it. It's magnetic. It holds the screws, and that was all packed in its own little foam box. Get out of here!
Nice,
super quality, super pleasant. But I love the chair.
We'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah,
just in case.
I sat in the chair for the first time, and my hips didn't touch the armrests. Mm-hmm. Right, I fit into the racing seat back, that it's just a great chair, and it's been helping me sit up straighter while I work.
Yes, which is what I've been secretly saying a little prayer under my breath about, because you do sit kind of hunched over, and I'm I can't help it. I have to sit up straight because I'm fused. Yeah. So for me, as straight as a board, just normally. And I'm always telling you, like, please sit up straight, because
my last chair
makes my back hurt just looking at it.
My last office chair had a really low back on it, so sitting back in it just put the top of the chair like right in the middle of my back. That was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I just would sit forward and just kind of crumple and hunch over. I don't know, it's not great. But when I do that at the kitchen table when I'm playing a board game, it's to mess with you.
Oh, okay.
Because you go, how are you doing that? And I just go, I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like you're folding in half, and I just don't know how people can do that. Because I can't at all.
Right, because you have two metal bars in your back.
Yeah.
It's not that you're like, no way, I can't do that. It's that you physically cannot.
I physically cannot do that. Yeah. And it's been such a long time. It's coming on 31 years since I've been able to do anything flexibly like that at all.
I think everybody would have like incredible posture if they had two steel bars preventing their spine from curving.
And I mean, anything else just kind of like hurts. Like I have a little bit, like I have a couple inches of hunch over, but other than that, it's mostly just shoulders. But I can't, like, physically cannot slouch or hunch over or slump down. It just not good.
I have a lot of spinal mobility.
Yeah. It freaks me out.
I have a lot of spinal mobility. I also have, like, and this kind of freaks people out too, is I have this kind of like weird amount of balance. Like if you look at me, you go, that guy does not have a good center of gravity. We're definitely going to topple him over. No problem. But I'm very balanced.
Yeah.
I have like a very good center of gravity. I'm a very balanced person.
You're pretty agile, like a bunny.
I'm pretty agile. And I used to be fast when I was younger. I don't, like, maybe when I get down to my goal weight, I'll be fast again. But in terms of running, like, scary people would be like, well, no, what? Oh, I didn't think you could run this fast.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have really big calves. I do. I have abnormal calves.
But they're nice looking too, though. Like they've got the nice calf shape to it.
Right. And
they're just chunky. They're just like big buff.
I don't
things.
have to exercise my calves. I don't. They're like, I have like big calves, like 24 inches. Anyways, I sold a bunch of games in a charity auction, but I don't feel like I made a very big dent in this pile.
I was just going to say, like, there's still lots of games on the...
Yeah, I don't know what happened because it was like 30 games I sold, but this pile doesn't look smaller.
Yeah, it still looks pretty...
To be fair, some of this
needs
pile...
to be condensed and put
some
away.
Some of this pile is I need to play the game and then decide if I want to sell it.
Collectors, man. What are you going to do?
Well, I bought the game wanting it, but then after reading the rule book, I'm like, I don't know, I might like this, but I might not. So I put it on the floor pile instead of giving it shelf space for games that I know I want to keep.
Right.
Right. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm like, well, that little stack right there is actually just recycling. Those are just empty boxes. And then the two stacks over there are the card games I need to get storage for, and that's a card game I need storage for. But everything else is either going to be sold because I've already played it and I don't know that, or I need to play it to see.
Cool. Well, on Friday we did something fun. We either some of us stayed up, or
the lunar eclipse.
Yeah, on Friday.
I'm like, what? It was on Friday. It's so long ago.
On Friday.
I had something from Friday too. Go with the lunar eclipse first.
So Friday morning at 3:02 a.m., I stayed up, Cameron stayed up, Bryce stayed up, but we woke you and Liam up to go outside and look at the 97% coverage of the lunar eclipse.
Which I didn't know was only going to be 97%.
You thought it was going to be total?
Because I wouldn't have got up for 97%.
97% doesn't get you up at 3:02 a.m.?
I want total blackout. I want a total eclipse. I want a total eclipse, and I want it to be so dark on the planet.
But this amount of eclipse hasn't happened in like 540 years. So this is a once in a lifetime thing.
I'm kidding. I would have got up to see it, but I was standing there going, this is slow. When is it actually going to fully eclipse? And then one of you goes like, no, it's not. It's just a partial. And I'm like, what?
But it's a mostly eclipsed. It was 97.4 something %.
So when did you look it up?
Total?
Yeah. When did you?
No, I didn't look it up yet. But
like 1,000 years from now?
Yeah, probably. It's a once in a lifetime.
Aging.
It's like the solar eclipse that happened in 2017. This will only happen once in our lifetime. So
it's weird that both of those things have happened, not only just in our lifetimes, but it's in our marriage.
Yeah. And where we live at the time is like the perfect place to see it.
Yeah.
Like people were traveling down to Nashville to see the solar eclipse.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah. It's pretty fancy.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy. It's pretty awesome. Maybe that's why we're here.
I felt like it was very auspicious that we all saw it at that moment together.
Yeah, no, that's a cool thing. And it's something that like only Fred missed it, right? Because she was asleep.
Yeah, I didn't want to wake her up at 3 o'clock in the morning. She would never have gone back to bed. But she did see the solar eclipse.
Yeah, she was there for the solar eclipse.
And so that was fun. That was fun that we did.
That was fun. What I did on Friday is I gave a talk.
A presentation
at work. It was more of a talk because like I was teaching. I was trying to give information more than just doing a presentation, right? Like a presentation would be like, and here's the thing I built. Feedback. This was more like explaining what I'm doing, why I'm doing it.
And who you are first.
Who I am.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and why it's important. So it's more like a TED Talk than a... TED Talks are... I don't want to reduce TED Talks, but it was more of that kind of a format of like me just giving a talk about it. And I realized... So for most of my life, I've never had a problem with public speaking. I can get up in front of a whole classroom. I can get up in front of everybody at the vacuum cleaning place. I'm being trained to sell vacuums. I can get up in front of anyone. I can tell jokes. I can wing it.
Yeah.
I can give myself bullet points and just fill in on the fly.
Right.
And I've always been able to do that. And I've always thought I like doing it.
Ugh.
Well, I realized with this one, I don't like it. And I think it's because as I lose the weight, I realize I don't need that protection anymore. And that behavior was protection. It was me protecting myself from being teased. Because if I got up there and I made you smile or laugh and you liked me, it'd be a lot harder for you to make fun of me. Yeah. Maybe you did it behind my back later with your wife or whatever, or your brother. Fine. But not to me, not at me, right? Yeah. And now I realize I'm not that guy. I don't want to do those things. So I got really nervous, like had to go to the bathroom beforehand, nervous.
You got butt sweats?
To talk, to do this talk. And they were supposed to record it and then just put it up on the company intranet or whatever. So I do the talk. I'm having a panic attack the whole time. Everybody says afterwards that they couldn't tell. I'm good because I'm good at masking my panic attacks at work. Right. The only way you'd know is if I tell you. I'm really having a panic attack right now. You seem composed. I know. So I get done with it and I'm like, that's done. Now I don't have to do that again. I'm done. Right. And then my boss goes, oh, they forgot to record it. So can you re-record it? Like make a recording, do the talk one more time and do a recording by yourself and then give us the video? And I was like, absolutely, I can.
Sheesh.
And I meant to do it yesterday, but then I had meetings and I got really like rabbit holed on this thing I'm working on. And I was like, 5 o'clock rolled around. I was like, oh shit, well, I'll do it tomorrow. And I figured recording it by myself is going to be fine. It's not going to make me nervous. So I go to set it up. I figure out how to screen record and record audio at the same time on my computer while I can still read my script without the script being on screen. Right. Right. Then I do a little test to make sure I'm getting the sound. Well, I'm using my Apple earphones and it's like the whole time. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, I need to do a different microphone. And I'm like, well, we have the podcasting microphones. They sound great. Well, I can't do the podcasting microphones because of where they are hooked up. I'd have to break the whole thing down, move it. No, because I needed my big monitor. I can't do what I needed to do just on my laptop screen, which is what we usually do for the podcast. We just move the laptop over, right? To the podcasting station.
Okay.
So I was like, fuck. I need a better microphone. And then also the microphones that we have for podcasting aren't USB microphones. They have to go into an audio interface, and then the audio interface goes into the computer.
Okay.
Right. They're professional microphones, like with the fucking professional plug-in deals.
Okay.
Fuck it. So I need a USB mic. So I couldn't even just steal one of the mics, which would be simple, but it's not USB. So I'd have to move the whole rig, and I didn't want to do that. And then I remembered, we have the Blue Yeti mics that we bought for the podcast originally, and then discovered they didn't work because you can't have two of them plugged in at the same time because they are USB mics. So I can then come find it.
Oh no.
And then I dug around. I found it.
Okay.
Got it hooked up, plugged in. I did a couple test records. It wasn't coming through in stereo. I could only hear myself in one ear. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? And so then I'm Googling, and people are like, no, that's not possible. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I go and I listen to, I go find some other things, and I'm listening. Long story short, I discovered today that my Apple earbuds, not my AirPods, but my old Apple ones with the regular audio jack, the right ear doesn't play anything. At all. And I haven't noticed it before because I only ever use it for meetings. And it doesn't matter. Like when you're having a meeting, there's no stereo to begin with. So it doesn't matter how the sound sounds, right?
Okay.
So then I switched to my other headphones. I was like, okay, no, this is recording both tracks and it is playing back correctly. So I got that squared away.
What a mess.
Then I go to start recording and I start to get nervous. And I start mush mouthing and mumbling and like mispronouncing words and skipping things. I'm like, I've read this goddamn script 20 times. This should not be hard. And then I get a full recording in that it's okay. It's good enough. And I'm listening to it back and I hear a fucking sloth toy playing.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh no.
She wasn't playing with the sloth toy.
Yeah, and it's really loud.
ABC, count with me.
Yes, that was on there. So I was like, now I have to re-record it again. But at first I went out there and I was like, hey Fred, would it be okay if you just stop playing with the sloth toy for just a little while? And she's all, oh. And it's like, I'm asking really nice because Daddy's trying to do like a special recording. And I was trying to be like, so like reasonable about it. And she was just not having it. And then you're like, okay, it's time to go downstairs. So sorry. And I'm like, I didn't even notice it until I was listening back, right? Like when I was recording, I didn't hear it. It was on the recording though. And I've done this before. I've sent videos to a boss with stuff I didn't realize was on it, recorded from background noise. And my boss was like, so how was that episode of CSI? And I'm like, what? He's like, your video had an episode of CSI in the background. And it wasn't an episode of CSI. It was a murder podcast that I was listening to while I was doing screen records on my phone. But the screen record on the phone picks up whatever audio you're listening to.
Oh no.
Right? So it's like, her arms are falling off, her legs are falling off in the back of like, here's the bug I found.
Oh no.
So fuck me, right? I'm just done on that one.
Good gosh.
So I wanted to make sure that there wasn't any weird background noises. And so I got another recording, and I think it's the best recording I did. So that's the bright side.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
I did have a couple of places where I like stumbled a little bit, but not bad enough for me to like be like, time to go again.
Yeah.
Because perfect is the enemy of done, and I just want to be done with it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'm going to like volunteer to give too many more talks.
Really?
I don't find them fun anymore. Like I will write you an article. I will make a podcast. I will make you a video of how to do something, but I don't want to give talks anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't feel like me. Mm-hmm. So anyways.
That sounds like a crazy.
It was crazy. Here's the thing, though, is like I did feel relief after giving it, and I did get a lot of great feedback from people saying that it was really good and it sounded cool and a lot of great information. And that is wonderful because I do like sharing things that I know a lot about, my expertise and knowledge, and I like giving that to other people.
Yeah.
But I think I like it more in like a smaller group, right? Like 5 or 10 people max.
Yeah.
Hey, let me show you how to do some stuff in Figma. That's fun. Just impromptu, right? But this was like an important talk to give to like a large portion of people I've never met, strangers.
Yeah.
And they don't know what you're talking about. So it has to be like, so to go through all of this like stress.
Yeah.
Right. I was pretty stressed last week. Not this week though, Linda.
Who's Linda?
From Wedding Singer. She's like,
okay.
Linda, you're a bitch. I always think of like, I don't know anyone named Linda.
Well, that's good. I don't either.
I'm pretty sure, but I always think of like when I'm mad about something and I want to blame an imaginary person, it's Linda. Sort of how like when I call you Barbara.
Yeah.
From Night of the Living Dead. They're coming for you, Barbara. Like that is all. Anyways, I want you to be Barbara.
Oh, okay. I don't want to be Barbara. Who's named Barbara?
See, I like doing this though. I like doing the podcast because there's no stress about it. We're just like, hey, do you want to record? Yeah. What are we going to talk about? This? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And we get on and we just chat because it's just you and me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because I started coming into this whole thing with like a regimented like notes and stuff. And now I just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about stuff. I did find a cool quote.
Well, that's because, but some of that is because like you don't like talking on the phone.
No,
so you felt like this was going to be similar to that, and you wanted to make sure you knew what you were going to say.
It's all like weird stuff. Like no one cares what you're going to say, Amy. No one gives a crap, right? It's anxiety and depression like battling each other in my head, going, no one cares.
Right.
Just shut up. No one's going to care what you have to say. Or, you know, I replay things that happened in my head 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago that still humiliate myself. And I replay them over and over. Just like when I'm feeling really shitty, I just replay them in my head going, that was cringy. That was weird. Why'd you do that? You're a weirdo. And so it's just like, if I'm on the phone and I flub a word, I'll just hang up because I can't live through that.
When we first started doing the podcast, that was the same thing. If you like said the wrong thing, you would correct yourself while we were recording, and then we would edit out the wrong thing because you were really self-conscious about it, even though it's really just kind of funny in this context, right?
It's a human thing, but
absolutely.
But I'm so terrified of messing up that, you know, it stops me from doing things that I want to do. And, you know, I don't know.
That's the thing I had with the talk is like, these are strangers, right? Like when it's you and me talking, or like when I talk to Jane at work about stuff, if I mess up, I just go, what? No, that's not what I meant. This is what I meant. Right. And I don't skip a beat. I don't worry about it. I don't think about it later. But when it's like 68 people who I've never met before wanting to learn something that I am an expert in, I felt a lot of pressure to not fuck up. And that doesn't feel good at all. So I get where you're coming from. 100% get
I can talk to you and the kids all the time because you guys know me and know that, you know, sometimes I mess a word up and one of the kids will laugh a little too much and I'm like, hey, that hurts my feelings when you laugh like that. Stop it.
I don't laugh when you mess a word up. But I will laugh when you say something a funny way.
I know, but even so, it's like I grew up and they would still harass me about something I said when I was even a littler kid. When I was a teenager, they would still harass me about it. And I'm like, all right, how old are you all? I'm going to evolve. How about that? I'm going to grow up and you guys can stay the same age and be idiots together.
Because they weren't laughing with you. They were laughing at you. They were teasing you about it, right?
Yeah. And for like normal, you know, human behaviors, normal feminine behaviors, or like you know, when your brother makes a joke and your dad laughs, that's not a good feeling.
No, that's gross.
That's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
And when it's, you know, a joke about your chest, it's even worse of a feeling.
Come on.
So
that's really inappropriate.
Yeah. So we're not like that. My family now is not like that.
We just don't talk about your children's bodies.
My previous
or siblings' bodies. That's weird.
Quote unquote relatives who I'm related to, you know, harassed. And so now I'm just ultra sensitive about making sure I say the right words and have the right meanings and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But as I get older, and I think with this birthday, because I'm about to turn 43, everybody.
Here we go. Coming on in hot.
Yeah, I'm sliding in. I am going to practice not trying to convince everybody to like me. The people who like me will like me, and that's you and my kids. Yep. And I'm just done trying to go, hey, no, it's okay. I'm safe. I'm good. I'm not this. I am this. Please look at me. Please take my feelings into consideration. Or, you know, I'm tired of trying to convince everyone, including myself, that I'm good enough. I'm going to practice being kinder to myself. And
if somebody doesn't want to be part of your life, that's their loss.
Well, it's not. I don't want to frame it that it's their loss.
It is their loss. You're a wonderful person. Fuck that person.
Well, I love you, but I don't want to frame it that it's their loss. It's just, it's not something that I need to be bothering myself with. I can't carry that brick that has that person or that thing. I can't carry that many bricks.
Right.
In my life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to convince other people to pay attention and to, hey, look at, I'm still here. Yeah. That's not my job anymore. I want to put that down.
I don't like want everybody to like me. Like, I'm fine if you don't like me, but I don't want you to not like me for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to take one look at me and go, ugh, gross. I don't like that guy.
Right.
Like, at least let me talk a little bit and then decide you don't like me.
Yeah.
Don't just have no reason to not like me. But that's all trauma too, right? Like that's not a normal thing to think. It's not normal to walk into a room and be like, sweet, somebody in here is probably going to hate me.
It's not.
Yeah.
Most people, I mean, you know,
most people don't give two shits about me or think about me more than one time when they first visually see me and go, and then they move on, right?
A lot of people just don't care what other people think.
Yeah.
And that's all well and good. And I can say, fuck them, I don't care. But deep down inside, the little me cares.
Yeah, I care sometimes.
And so it can be kind of hurtful when I go, I didn't do anything wrong in this situation. I'm just choosing not to follow yucky stuff. I'm choosing not to be around people that make me feel yucky.
Is this the quote? Are you going to say, you sent me this, right?
And I think I sent you this, but I don't think I sent you this one. It's Chester Bennington.
Yeah.
He has a quote, or he said something that really gets me because he says, I have a hard time with life.
Yeah.
And I do. I question everything, even things that I think. I question it all because I just don't know if am I the crazy person?
Yeah.
Am I the wrong person? Do I stand up for things that don't mean shit to anyone?
No.
Like, where do I fit in? And I think that's just, everyone feels that at some point in their life.
To
everyone
some degree,
feels, everyone feels that, like, who are my people? Where do I fit in? And how can I be the best me?
Right.
And that's really hard. And I didn't really ask myself any of these questions until I was really almost close to 40.
Yeah.
And especially now that I have grown kids, like I have adult kids.
Yeah.
And it's blowing my mind right now because someone that I grew up with when I was in third grade, I've known this person since I was in third grade. I mean, we don't talk anymore, but like they're on Facebook or whatever. They're people my age now are becoming grandmas. Like it's it's wild to me that
nice parking job, Grandma.
that I am still here.
Yeah.
It's now that I am still here, I need to ask the true, real questions that really matter in my grand scheme of life.
Awesome.
Like my huge chunk of life. What really matters?
Yeah.
What matters is the 5 of you, definitely, number 1. And number 2 is my animals. Like everything beyond that, I just don't know if I really have a fire about it.
Yeah. And you don't need to.
I'm starting to realize I don't need to.
Here's a quote.
I don't need to convince anybody.
I thought this is the quote you were going to say.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just had to say
I don't know where I saw this now because I thought maybe you sent it to me. And maybe you'll say, oh, I did send that to you in a separate thing.
Yeah, probably.
But I saw a quote that says, why are you worried about getting everybody to like you? You don't even like everybody.
Oh, yeah. I did send you that a long time ago.
You
though.
did send me
yeah.
that? Okay. And I was like, I don't like everybody. That's true.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? That's okay.
It is okay.
But I've just have found myself in low moments being so concerned with what everybody sees as who I am.
Yeah.
And me going, no, that's not, or this is what I meant, or this is what I was trying to do, or I was trying to do my best. I was trying to survive that moment. And you just happen to be around, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm trying not to be specific, but I kind of need to put that down.
Yeah.
I need to put that away, and I need to stop beating myself up about it.
I know the specifics and I agree.
Okay. I'm trying.
Agree. I know you are.
It's a practice. I tell my kids all the time, it's practice. Life is practice. You're never going to get it right.
Yeah.
Even if you try really hard, there's always going to be someone that's shitty or that thinks you're shitty, and that's okay. You can't.
I've been practicing positivity too lately. Trying to be positive about my journey.
And I'm not trying to be positive because I know.
No, I know.
That for me, positivity is a little bit toxic because I try to push myself. Oh no, you just be happy. I can't. I'm not.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about being happy. I'm talking about not degrading myself over the weight loss journey.
Yeah. Not beating yourself up.
Yeah. Manifesting loss and positivity around that instead of saying, oh, you only lost 0.4 pounds this week. You screwed up. You blew it. Because that doesn't help.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, you look back over the 51 weeks and I've averaged 2 pounds a week, right? So it doesn't matter if I have a week where I'm 0.6.
Yeah.
And then I have a week that I'm 3, right? Because over time, the average is going to be the way it goes. And so I've been practicing, when I'm on my walk, telling myself, all right, let's manifest this. We're losing weight. This is good. We're exercising. We're taking care of ourselves. We're healthy.
Yeah.
Instead of, man, you really fucked up this week. And because that will spiral me into why bother, and not so much now because you're doing the food, helping with the food, but before I'd be well, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat a cookie then. If I do perfect on food and I still don't lose weight, then what's the point? I'll just eat a cookie, and that kind of spiraling, or I'll eat a whole sleeve of cookies or something.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to focus that, which is not exactly the same thing as you're doing, but it's very similar to what you're doing, right? You're trying to focus yourself on not allowing that stuff to bother you anymore the way it has in the past.
It's just about not picking up what you don't need, not carrying it anymore.
Yeah, you only have room in your backpack for 5 bricks.
Yeah. And if it's 1 minute at a time or 1 hour at a time, then just get through that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. 100% agree. Now, we should talk about the beautiful pink elephant in the room. This is our 50th episode.
Ooh.
That's a pretty big milestone.
That is pretty big.
For doing a podcast, right?
Yeah.
I feel 50 episodes, that's we've passed the commitment stage.
Yeah, I think we're in it now, right?
We're just doing it, right? This is just a thing we do now.
And for our 4 followers, we appreciate you.
I think we have more than that.
5 followers, we appreciate you.
Our last episode had 17 views on YouTube.
Whoever you are, we love you.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I feel pretty good about it, though. I saw that the other day. I was huh, cool. And then I moved on. So this is our 50th episode. I think that we probably don't need to talk about much more, right? We can just end the episode here.
End the episode here. Da-dum-bum.
Episode 50. What did you want to talk about for episode 50?
Oh, we're just going to get into it.
Into what? Oh, yeah, we need a dead air commercial.
Do we? We could do a chair commercial. Do you have crappy posture?
Do you have crappy posture? And have you never been able to fit in a normal chair before? Well, we've got the Black Friday deal for you.
Come on down today and buy the
Secret Lab Titan Evo 2022.
black on black.
It is black on black. They have a lot of choices.
It comes with a magnetic pillow.
It does have a magnetic headrest. It also has magnetic armrests that you can swap out. And it has magnetic shield covers that go over all the screws.
So you don't pinch yourself?
Yeah, and so you don't see them, I guess.
Cool.
They come in a lot of color combos, but most of the color combos are like either based off of some game or they're like a light color, like white. And I'm like,
yeah,
white's going to just get, like, even if I'm just really careful, it's just going to get dirty over time.
Sorry, kids. Go with the black on black. And you will have nice posture and,
Yeah, and it's really adjustable. It's got
bolts
all kinds of settings. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, it was the easiest chair. It's the easiest piece of furniture I've ever built.
Good lordy.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's got all kinds of like, you know what it feels like? I said this to you in the day that came. It kind of feels like they just took a nice seat out of a nice car and put it on on casters.
Yeah, and so it's really nice and sturdy, and also you've had it for a few days, and it's like boom.
It's wonderful. And it's very comfortable. It's not super cushy, but I don't think I want a super plushy chair. I've had plushy chairs, and I just sink into them, and it doesn't help.
Give you the real support that bodies need.
Right. I need support if I'm going to stay here for 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
And I also
you need
have
a good posture.
I also have a footstool that I have under the desk too, which helps a little bit with that.
Yeah.
And it has lumbar support. But the casters, I want to talk about the casters. My old chair would barely move on the carpet. I'd have to get up and pull it.
Yeah.
This one slides around on the carpet like I'm on hardwood. It's crazy.
Cool.
I don't know why the casters work that well on carpet, but
awesome.
whatever.
Investment.
It was an investment. And it was actually the same price as the last chair I had, which was a piece of shit from Office Max.
So yeah. Right.
So
right
there we
on.
go. All right. That's the chair.
Buy yours today.
But sure. Do what you want. Get the Minecraft edition because I couldn't.
No, don't do that. Get a grown-up chair, people. Come on.
No, the Minecraft edition's awesome. Grown-ups play Minecraft.
Come on, kids.
Lots of grown-ups play Minecraft.
Come on, people.
I built an entire Skull Mountain with an underground train and a secret gold room that you had to drop a piece of gold into a fountain to make a waterfall fall open, and then you could get in there. I'm just saying.
In Minecraft?
Yes, adults play Minecraft.
All right. Play your game, but get you a grown-up chair with the good postures.
No, let's not shame people for their gaming choices.
I said play your game, but get the grown-up chair.
Minecraft is a grown-up chair. Anyways, let's get into this topic.
All right.
What is the topic for podcast episode 50?
You say it. Hey, I got a very important question.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Star Trek captain?
My favorite Star Trek captain. Okay, so for the longest time, and I still think that this is probably true, but we'll get into why it might stop being true at some point. For the longest time, for the longest time, Janeway has been my favorite Star Trek captain. Voyager overall is my favorite Star Trek.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons. One of the biggest reasons is that when you were pregnant with Bryce and after he was born, I would watch Voyager reruns on UPN in Portland and fall asleep to Voyager, but I'm almost always in tears at the end of it. And so I have a real emotional connection because it was an emotional point in our lives when we brought our second child into the world. And he was a very he bonded with me more so than any of the other kids had as or have as children, right? As babies. And so there was I was open.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was watching that a lot, and I just fell in love with the show, right? Mm-hmm. I still love Voyager. It's still in my favorites, right? And Discovery just came back.
Star Trek Discovery season 4 just came back. Everybody, it's back.
It's so wonderful. It is in 4 seasons
great.
in, and I'm already starting to feel like it is my favorite Star Trek of all time.
Oh, ouch.
Which would make Voyager 2, which is still doesn't take anything away from Voyager. Mm-hmm. But there's so much to like about Discovery.
Yeah.
Right? But one of the major things about Discovery is Michael Burnham.
Who is played by Sonequa Martin Green.
Who is she's been in a lot of stuff, but she was most well known for Walking Dead prior. She played Sasha in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
One, she is
beautiful.
You said it. And she's such a good actress.
Yeah.
Like, I 100% believe that this woman is a space captain on a starship.
Yeah. So
1,000 years in the future.
Discovery starts 10 years before Kirk and Spock and the Enterprise. But then they discover new worlds and life forms and whatever. But it's about this Starfleet officer, Michael Burnham, and then she messes up. And then now she's got to fix things and whatever. But then they get like all this spoilers. Okay, the spoilers. But then they get like blown into the future.
Right.
And so now they're past anything we know. It's not 2021 anymore, people.
No.
It's like, what is it? What does it end up being? Do we know?
5,000 something? No, it's star dates. I don't know. I can never remember the star dates. It's too confusing for me, but it's way, 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 way into the future where they don't have dilithium anymore. No, that's the wrong word. Is it dilithium?
Yeah, it's dilithium.
They don't have that anymore because there was a gigantic explosion of all the dilithium and it's all gone.
So
people have been fighting and the Federation is gone.
Mm-hmm. Or seemingly, yeah.
Right. But what I was telling you the other day about this Star Trek is that was the goal all along, was for Discovery to be future Trek. Uh-huh. But the way that they went about doing it made it so that Trekkies like myself love it.
Yeah.
Because what they did is they started out the storyline pre-Kirk. Mm-hmm. And so we're all like, oh, we're hearing names. We're seeing ships.
Yeah.
We're seeing things that we understand and recognize from our Trek.
We're like, right? ooh, and it's nostalgia.
The ship looks like a Trek ship.
Yeah.
And we're just like, yes, nostalgia.
And the Klingons
yes.
and the war and all this stuff.
And you get the captain who was the original captain on the original show before Kirk in the pilot episode, and then they brought Kirk in. Mm-hmm. You get him and you get to see his character expanded, and you're like, yes, and you get Spock, young Spock. And Spock is the brother to Michael Burnham, and you're like, what?
And we get to see his dynamics with his parents, even more so, more personally.
You get all this old school stuff, and then they shoot you to the future. And at this point, you're already like, I love this show. I'm bought in.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, we're in the future now? This is still Trek.
Yeah. And then they still bring you along with the science, the mushroom science and the mycelial whatever, or mycelia network. And it's just, it's after a real mushroom dude named Stamets.
I think it's
really great.
I think it's so cool. And it's very, I was telling you that that it's such a better way to do it because like when they did the prequels for Star Wars, we all had grown up with these like really rust bucket X-Wings and all these blocky square
old
ships.
Droids.
And then they're like, guess what? Before we had those rust buckets, we had the Naboo fighter and it looks like a goddamn silver hot dog. And you're like, the fuck? That's not Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because they didn't ease us into it. They just pushed us into it. And we're like, this isn't Star Wars. This doesn't feel like Star Wars. Oh, there's a Jedi. Okay. But the rest of this isn't Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Right? But with this one, they're like, hey, this is Trek. Listen up.
Yeah.
Come in close. This is Trek.
And it takes you like 3 seasons.
It takes you 4 seasons to get to the future state of Trek. Well, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And then it gets you 4 seasons to get you to Michael Burnham being captain. Mm-hmm. So you're not just throwing a new captain and go, here you go, this is the captain.
Yeah.
And now you got to fall in love with this person. And, you know, this show is about this captain's journey, which is all the other Treks are.
We walk with her throughout this whole entire journey.
From her failures through to becoming captain. And we get to see her growth, but it's not about her. All the other Treks, you know, you can make an argument that they're about this ship, but they center around the captain, right? Next Generation is about Picard and his adventures, and everybody else is supporting. And even Voyager, even though that's really very much an ensemble Trek show, it's very much about Janeway's journey. A lot of the side stories are Janeway focused, or 7 and 9 focused later seasons, because, you know,
the patriarchy.
Teenagers. Yeah, the patriarchy, that's better. But, you know, even like Deep Space Nine, which doesn't feel like a Trek show at all to me because they're not exploring, is centered around Sisko and his kid. And there's all the supporting characters and they have their own storylines and stuff, but it's very much about the captains, right? Yeah. And Kirk, definitely, it was about Kirk and Spock, right? But this one isn't about Burnham. She is a central character. And she is a star of the show. She is a headliner of the show.
Yeah.
But all of the other characters are what makes this up. It's not Star Trek Burnham. It's Star Trek Discovery, and it really is about that crew.
Yeah.
And it's really about those characters. And the side characters I love as much as I love Burnham. Right?
Yeah.
And there's so many cool and varied and different. It's not just like, oh, we have a Klingon on the ship. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We have all kinds of diversity going on in the show. And we have a non-binary character on the show, right?
Goes by they, them.
Yes, it's so... And they're a ghost. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Can you see where I'm going? Like why I'm starting to love this one so much?
I think it's like because for a long time I wasn't a Trekkie. I was like, okay, sure. But then,
you've always been more of a Star Wars.
Like a prequel came out.
Yeah.
What was that one? With what's his face?
Oh, Enterprise with Bakula.
Oh, okay.
As Archer.
Yeah, Scott Bakula, who, come on, Quantum Leap.
Sure.
All right.
I gotcha.
Anyways.
Rest in peace, Sam.
Yeah. Sam it's not Rockwell. Stockwell?
No, Dean Stockwell was the actor, but he played Sam on the...
Yes, that's right. Sorry.
Or no, he was not Sam. Bakula was Sam. What was his name?
Okay, we need to edit this piece out.
We're gonna edit this piece out. We're gonna leave it in.
Quantum Leap,
yes, with Scott Bakula and Dean Stockwell. And Dean Stockwell was this little computer buddy. Yeah, it was like a hologram, right? What was his name though? What was the character's name?
I forget.
I fucking forget too. You talk and I'll find out.
Anyways,
we'll do it live.
I started to watch that show and I really liked it. I didn't really like so much the Vulcan character lady. But I liked Scott Bakula as Captain Archer. I felt like he did a really good job and he did it justice. So I was like, okay, well, I like that one. And then you showed me Star Trek Voyager.
Al.
Yeah. That's
why couldn't we... Whatever.
Al. Anyways.
Yeah, we did not like, both of us. Both of us did not like that Vulcan character.
And I don't know. I think the patriarchy just put her in... You know, the tightest things. And she was always like, when she was on her downtime, she was always sweaty or working out or going through Ponfar or some weird shit.
They did a lot to push the envelope with her sexuality on that show. And it just wasn't sexy.
Don't like those parts.
No.
But, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of on. And then you showed me Voyager and I was like, okay, Janeway is like the mother we all need and want to be.
Yeah.
Because she was tender when she needed to be and stern when she needed to be. And she knew the difference.
Yeah.
Most of us just flail around not knowing the difference.
Right.
And we do it at the wrong moments and she messes up and then she says she's sorry and she fixes it or she helps somebody or she encourages somebody to like step up and be real.
Yeah.
I felt that Voyager was the best one. And yes, that Captain Janeway is the best captain. I'm sorry, Picard. I love the new Picard, the new Star Trek Picard show. Yeah. That I'm digging because that is very nostalgic also as well.
And that Picard I like better than the Picard from Next Generation.
Yes, because he's older and he sees everything that he's been through.
Yep.
And he did evolve over time. He did like start to see why he needed to be.
Yeah, over the course of the show, like when they, like in the pilot, he was just like, Picard I hate children, number one.
Yeah, he's like, just, keep me away from the kids.
Don't bring Wesley in here, number one. Right? Like there's all kinds of like craziness there. But he did over time soften.
Yeah, and I think, because he became a Borg and all this stuff, like all of his life experience made him more of a, like, a kinder, gentler person.
Yeah, I agree.
And so the new show Picard is amazing.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
I love it.
And I'm going to love where they're going to take it now, because now 7 of 9 is back.
And
awesome.
And speaking of the patriarchy, 7 of 9 is kind of getting finally getting her due as a character. They're not sexualizing her.
They're giving her badassery, which is what she should have had all along.
She still has like sensuality and like sexuality, but she's not sexualized anymore. And they're giving her, they're making her like this badass ranger character.
Yeah, because, and we'll go back to Janeway, like helped her become an actively, human type of person that she wanted to be. So she pushed herself. She pushed those boundaries.
I really hope Janeway gets a cameo in that.
Something. That would be great.
Yeah.
But now I'm not completely, totally on board with Burnham being a better captain necessarily.
Well, we don't know yet.
I do like Enterprise as far as there's different races and different skin colors and different, like they're way more accepting. And I've seen some like negativity.
You mean Discovery?
Discovery, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a few like negative, like, do we have to have a family hug after every episode? And
fuck those people.
It's way too positive now. And I'm like, no.
Fuck off.
Because
that's what Trek is supposed to be. Trek is optimism. That's the whole point.
Right. Exactly. And that's what I appreciated with like number 1 from Commander Riker, where he would be. He would.
I thought you were talking about like. So I was like, where are you going? But
sorry.
Number 1. Yeah.
So
Riker.
So in that whatever, he would meet these alien species and they'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he'd be like, "No, we're past that. We don't eat animals. We don't deal with violence. We don't have killing." Right? So I always appreciated that part of it, because I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
So what it does is it takes the camaraderie of military and it makes them familial. It makes them a family.
Yeah.
And going through a thing where, like what Voyager did, they were stuck so far from home, they had no choice but to turn to each other.
And that's one of the reasons I think it's the best Trek, is because they were truly fulfilling the mission of going where no person has gone before.
Yes, exactly. Right. And that's what Discovery is doing too, because in a way they're stuck.
Yeah.
And so they have no choice but to kind of turn to each other and be like, we need to make this the best that it can.
Yeah.
And do they pick up new people along the way? Yes. And do they appreciate each other for what those people can bring uniquely to the crew? Yes. That's what we need to do as a society.
Yeah.
And if we're not doing that, we're devolving, not evolving. And that's what Star Trek is supposed to teach us. And especially this. Yes, it is more positive and it is less shitty, but that's what we also need. We need those things.
Yeah.
We need that, like, follow science and follow the experts, and we're all in this we're all in the same ship.
Yeah.
Let's leaders lead and let's do our best, right?
So you're still
I'm still
fully
Team Voyager.
But do you see the potential for Discovery to surpass Voyager, or no? Or do you think it'll always be the best in your mind?
It will still be OG the best, but I do see like a lot of merit to Discovery.
Yeah.
I do.
I get really excited whenever a new episode's on.
Yeah. It's kind of like Star Wars, where I am the OG 3.
Yeah.
I am that team always, Return of the Jedi, but the prequels, I don't know. I think they can be a standalone on their own, kind of same universe, but separate.
Yeah.
But then the new one, the last one where it had
the sequels.
Yeah, the sequels, I think those were pretty good. Like those had callbacks, and it was Leia and it was Luke again, and it felt right. And
the sequels felt like Star Wars right off the bat.
Yeah.
Though Rogue One, which is not part of the sequels, that's like an offshoot. That's an excellent movie.
That is very good.
Yeah.
And it's not just a standalone. I think it fits in the universe pretty darn well.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's a standalone as in that it's not part of one of the trilogies. Mm-hmm. But it is, yes, I think 100% in the Star Wars universe.
It does feel very Star Warsy.
Yep.
It does have that old school feel.
Yep.
It does have, the conflict that we all know.
Yeah.
And it does have a hero, but it doesn't have like skimpy suits and all that nonsense that no one needs. We just need to get into the badassery of it all.
Yeah.
Which I think it fits well. And I've seen that movie just lots of times.
So I went and saw Force Awakens in the theater, and I came home in love with Rey. Like, such a good character.
Yeah.
Like, such a cool character. I don't know if like they finished her arc properly. Mm-hmm. I very much enjoy all 9 of the Star Trek movies. I like the prequels, but for a different reason than most people. Mm-hmm. Dislike them, right? They don't feel like Star Wars right away. They eventually do when you start to get into stuff. I hate the pod racing. I don't love Jar Jar Binks.
Too dramatic.
And Anakin was badly cast in all ages.
Yeah. Okay.
But we did get an Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan, which is wonderful.
Right. That was pretty cool.
Right. And we did get really cool Jedi shit, which we had not gotten any cool. Like the coolest Jedi shit we had gotten before that was an old Sir Alec Guinness going, "Strike me down," and then Darth Vader like, "Wonk," and that's it. You were like, that's a Jedi fight? Crazy. But then but in Phantom Menace, you get to watch like a really amazing Jedi fight. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I see. And they just kept giving us cool Jedi fights. So I like those movies because it gives us a lot of like backstory, but some of it's stupid, but some of it's rad. Yeah. And I just ignore all the dumb parts, right? Yeah. And I also don't think of it as part of the continuum. It's just 3 movies. And then there's the 3 New Hope series, and then there's the Force Awakens series.
That's what I'm saying.
And they all feel like pockets of the same story, but it's like just about Skywalker, right? That's what it's about, right? But I don't hate them. But I also like the 2nd and 3rd Matrix movies. So I might be crazy, right? A lot of people don't like this stuff, but I just like movies. Yeah. And if you give me a little bit more, like every time I watch Phantom Menace, I think it's the one with the pod racing.
Maybe.
You don't remember?
I'm not a technical.
Whenever I watch the one with pod racing, I fast forward the pod racing because it's dumb. Right. It's like the dumbest thing. Who cares? Right. And don't make games about it. They made a video game about it. I was like, why? This is the dumbest thing. I hate the pod racing. Okay. The pod racing is dumb.
Okay. I get it. We get it.
Also, Anakin is so whiny as a child. Anyways, but you've always been more of a Star Wars person before I introduced you to Trek. Yeah. And now do you feel like you're coming around to being kind of like liking both of them?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I am. But I will always and forever be Team Leia. I will always. Oh, for sure. Because just, it was something about her portraying that character that just fits me a little bit. Like she wasn't princess quality that we all like think of when we think of a princess. She had a mouth. She was very capable. She, ran into, like she figured shit out too, right? She
helped write a lot of that. So it makes sense that her character wasn't just like a damsel.
I dig it because that gives me hope that I'm not loony. You know what I mean? Yeah. That I'm not broken as a female. Yeah. That I too can stand right next to you and be a partner and solve stuff.
I think Star Wars is rad, but if you made me choose, I would choose Trek every day.
Yeah. I think right now I would have to choose Trek because that's the new stuff that's coming and it's really cool and I'm digging it.
But I even take the old stuff. Like I grew up
I
in
just
the
can't do
period of
Kirk.
time when Kirk movies
I just can't do it.
were big box office blockbusters.
Can't even, okay.
I don't like the original series.
No, and I can't.
It's way too cocky. He's like, oh, there's a blue lady over there. Spock, stop the ship. Right?
Yeah, which.
But older Kirk, Admiral Kirk,
Can't do it.
in the movies is kind of cool.
Okay, well, in that aspect, the one with the whale.
That's the best one.
And I'm Team Spock then.
Absolutely.
Because
Spock's my favorite.
I
Love
okay,
him.
so I think I was young. And I think it was on the TV or something, and the whale part came on. I'm like, wait. And then he goes, oh, she's pregnant. And I went, what? What? That is so cool. I love him. And so, yes. And then I grew up.
But Nimoy wrote that because he loved whales in reality.
I know, and he was a vegan. And so I'm so connected to that character now. And I'm like, young Spock in Discovery. I was like, young Spock.
Yeah.
Oh, this is why. Oh, his mom. Oh, he loves her. Oh, this. So yeah, I get it.
It's so good.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. I'm all into the nerd stuff. Give it to me. Give me more nerdy stuff.
Well, you've always liked science fiction stuff, but you're not a full on nerd because there's nerdy culture stuff you're not into too.
True, but okay. All right, fine, but true. But yes, but whatever.
And also you're like a cool passing, right? Nobody looks at you and goes, "Oh, nerd." Right? No, you've got the privilege of just looking cool and people are like, "Oh, there's no way that's a nerd." Wait, is that a Star Trek badge? Is that chick a nerd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I need more tattoos, and then people will definitely know.
Yeah, because you're into like a lot of
Sci-fi
stuff like Firefly and the X-Files and you are a huge nerd.
I'm a huge sci-fi nerd.
But you're not super into gaming.
I'm not a gamer.
Yeah.
And my kid is trying to turn me into a gamer. And I secretly think all of my kids there's a conspiracy in here in this house.
I think it's
that
just
are trying to get me into gaming. And I think I really, really, really want to be, if that makes any sense. But then I just can't get into it because, like I said, I have a consecutive 4 minutes until I have to stop and go do something else.
Right.
My brain can't do one thing for too long before I get either bored, tired, or I get distracted by something else.
So I think that you have the potential to be a hardcore gamer based entirely on how much you loved Diablo 2. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. On the PC.
Yeah, I did do that for a long time.
You would be like, can I get on there to play Diablo now? And I'd be like, yeah, I guess.
Well, you also put in like the superior code so that I had had a souped up life points or whatever. So I was very hard to kill. And I was just like, hey, da.
Yeah, I gave you a little boost on it.
Yeah.
But you played Diablo 3 with me as well.
That's true. It takes something.
Yeah. There's something, there needs to be some sort of like gameplay loop that hooks you in.
Yeah.
But you have that potential to be a gamer.
Yeah. I think I do.
I think it does come down to you don't have the time.
I don't have consecutive time.
Because you do need to put a lot of time into video games at least.
Yeah. And if it's got a story, I need to focus, right? Yeah. Like I'm almost halfway through Dune. And I got distracted for a minute and I haven't picked it up since. And I'm like, oh, I still have to finish that book.
Oh, I thought you'd already finished it.
No, I get distracted. I get distracted and then I'm hooked on something else for a while. Yeah. And then I go back to it and I don't know.
You'll get there.
It's time. But I love a lot of sci-fi stuff because that makes me feel that anything's possible.
Are you enjoying the book?
I love the book.
Oh, really?
Love the book.
Is it worth reading? I should do it.
Yes. And I think the old movie is shite comparatively to the new movie.
Yeah, the
new movie seems to be going a little bit closer to the book.
Yeah, everybody agrees the old movie is garbage.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying, but at the same time, the book is pretty rad.
The only people who argue that the old movie is better would be people who are just like really attached to that old movie and
or
don't
made
want
that movie.
Yeah, maybe David Lynch is like, I think that is still pretty good. No, I don't know. There are some parts about it that I remember fondly because, again, that's a movie from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But watching it now, and I have a 4-hour fan cut of it where they added in all of the missing stuff on this computer, in fact. And I still am like,
Yeah.
eh,
The book is pretty great.
eh.
There's a lot more like there's a lot more like understanding that you get of the characters.
Yeah.
There's a lot more like internal, like it, because it's third person all knowing.
Well,
so you get more internal stuff of each person, each character.
That's just books, though, right?
Yeah, not just the whispering weird thing that
From the
David
original
Lynch
movie?
did. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Why am I in the desert? Like it was always like every single inner thought was whispered. Yeah, that was weird. That I didn't notice that until you pointed it out, and I was like, oh yeah, why are they doing that? Yeah, so we're getting way off of Star Trek.
No, we're not. We're into the sci-fi. We're good.
All right.
How big of a sci-fi nerd are you? I think I'm a 7, personally.
A 7?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well,
like I know like character names, but I don't know like actor names. You know, I'm nerdy, but not like what was episode 50, line 2. I don't know those things.
right.
So I'm not like geeky about it, but I do know that,
I was just gonna say that I consider myself a Trekkie through and through. I mean,
yeah.
I have a comm badge. But I know people who have like the floor plan to every Enterprise
And
memorized.
I
and they
honor
know
those people.
They
okay?
know the star dates
Okay.
of every episode, and I'm like, maybe I'm not.
Yeah.
A Trekkie.
Okay. So that's what I'm
I don't
comparing
have room
it
for all that.
That's what I'm comparing it to. I'm not geeky in that way, and I honor those people that can do that. I just like the story of it all and the anything's possibility of it.
Yeah.
And how it makes me feel when I watch it over and over again. The only 13 episodes that exist in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
So then I have to get the comics and the art books and the everything else, the pop figures and everything in order to make it real for me. But I can't get into the technical of it.
I catalog other things in my brain, like this board game collection's all cataloged, and I have a ton of music knowledge.
Yeah.
That's all cataloged and weird in my brain.
Yeah.
But I just can't. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't enjoy it as much if I had to like memorize all of the stuff. And I also don't like getting into those conversations where they're like, well, are you talking about the Enterprise D?
Yeah, exactly.
Or the Enterprise E7 before Kirk exploded it. And I'm like, I don't fucking know. The one he was on.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
There needs to be people like that to keep everyone like on their toes and happy. I get it. And I'm here for it because I think it's classically funny when somebody goes, do you mean? And I love that. I love it. I think it's great when it's done to other people, not to me. But when somebody goes, prove it. I'm going to make you prove that you're a fan.
Gatekeeping bullshit. Fuck off.
I don't like that. That's not nice. That's not why we're in this.
No, if you say to me, hey,
we're in this fandom together.
Yeah. If you go, hey, I love Wolverine, I'll be like, awesome, me too.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, well, what was his first appearance?
What
like,
was his dog tag's number? And you're
come
like,
on.
oh,
Jesus. Shut up. How tall is he? Well, how many hairs does he have in his forearm? I don't care enough about any of that stuff because it doesn't matter.
Right.
I don't know. I don't want to make, I'm not making fun of people who catalog. I'm making fun of people who gatekeep. I want that to be very clear.
That is weird.
Yeah, gatekeeping is weird.
That's not kind.
Catalog, though, I like cataloging too. I just don't catalog Trek.
Yeah.
I catalog other things because I don't have room for it all.
I don't do cataloging for anything.
Yes, you do.
That's too much. No, I don't. What do I do? What for? Shut it. What?
X-Files?
I don't catalog that stuff. Like, I don't know episode or X-file number or file numbers. I don't know all that stuff.
You don't?
No, I don't.
You know the seasons, though. Like, if I said a creature, you'd know what season it was from?
No, not specifically.
All right. Take it
Most
back.
of the classics that we all know and love are season 1. So I do know those kind of things, but I have no idea.
I really love the X-Files up into when Mulder leaves, just because.
You mean disappears?
He left. He
disappeared.
I know in the story he disappears, but it's not X-Files without him.
And then the Terminator guy.
Yeah, they had the season with.
Well, Scully didn't like it either. Just so you're.
They had the season with Annabeth Gish and Robert Patrick as the team
from Terminator. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it was fine. Mm-hmm. Right, it's still X-File-y, but it wasn't Mulder and Scully.
Of course.
Like,
of course.
I don't really like it, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, we're getting way off track on Star Trek.
No, we are not.
All right, we'll just call this episode 50, the Sci-Fi One.
Yes, there you go.
Okay. Well, thank you for talking to me for this amount of time.
Yeah.
This is a long episode, but it was episode 50, so I feel like that's good.
It's late.
I still really like doing this with you.
I do too. I do too.
I love you.
I love you too.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Lou and Me podcast, subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, or Spotify.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Lou and Me Podcast.
Lou and Me is a Matthiasaurus production, produced and edited by Moose. The song is No Carpets by the New Forevers, hosted by Lou and me.
Thanks for listening.